Hi, my name is Lucy Hutchison, and this is my week one mobile user experience quick overview. So, the name of my mobile app is called Go Disciple. And so, we're just going to do a quick run through of this analysis of my app. And so here we have our application definition statement. The purpose of it is it's an app that helps church leaders or members keep track of the contact information and meeting schedules for the person they are discipling. This really is intended for church leaders or members, because they don't have to be leaders, who regularly disciple others on a consistent basis, and they need to schedule and coordinate appointments or meetups or meetings, and they definitely need that contact information readily available. The core functionality is just to allow users to access a locally stored application that displays schedules and contact information via a mobile device of the people that they are discipling. The feature sets, the real core feature set is going to be being able to add and delete disciples, being able to view them by name, and then being able to view that information, which will initially just have phone number, email, and picture. What would be nice to have is to have it web-based, to be able to sync it between different apps, the online storage, where the information is able to be saved to the phone's contacts, the native local contacts, being able to map to their disciple homes. So if I'm in an area, I want to find the disciples that are near me. Being able to share to Facebook or Twitter, so that social media integration where I can, you know, post to their wall or my wall that, hey, I'm having a meetup with so and so, or I just love the way this so and so is growing in their walk, and then meeting reminders. So if I meet with somebody weekly, it would just be nice to have that already set. It's not going to mess with my calendar. It's just going to be a weekly reminder. Hey, don't forget you're going to disciple this person tomorrow at 6 o'clock. And so let's just look at the user research. So these are the questions. What is your gender? And the answers. So I had 3 females and 2 males, which is right about that demographic for this type of market, which is really a church-based market. Are you plugged into a local church? Because that really is my intended audience, is someone who's plugged in and they are usually very involved. So they know what it means. So one of them was not plugged in. And then, are they comfortable with using the device, digital devices? So, and I included smartphones, computers, tablets in that question. Most of them were very, very comfortable. What model phone did they have? 2 of them didn't have really, smartphones, but they did answer it, which is because we're going to have a bunch that aren't even on smartphones. And then, of the apps that you currently have on your smartphone, so again, pertaining to the ones that do have, how many of them were free? And so the first 3 did say that all of them. So that tells me that most of them will download it if it's free, of course. And then some of them, and then no response. In a typical month, how many smartphone apps did you download from the internet? And so it basically says that they have the technical capabilities of searching for them and downloading them. And then again, the ones with no smartphones, of course they couldn't download it. And then which of the apps do you have on your phone? So which ones would they have downloaded? And then the first person, of course, had all of these listed, and then going down to the one who didn't have any. Which, on a typical week, which ones do you use most on their phones? And so this one had the Bible app, which game apps, weather app, social, and then no response. And then would an app that keeps track of people you are discipling be useful to you? And so I was very surprised at the response, but 3 out of the 5 said yes, they would. And I'm sure the last person, if they had a smartphone, I'm hoping that they would have said yes. So user personas, my primary persona is Sheldon Cooper, and he wants to keep track of the people he's discipling so he can be more organized and effective in his ministry. Sheldon is very busy. He works and he's got ministry full time. So after he works, he leads a home Bible study group. And in addition to those people, he's also discipling 3 other individuals outside of the disciple group. So he frequently forgets discipleship meetings until the day before because his meetings are written down on pieces of paper or they're boggled down with all the other meeting appointments he has in his calendars. And he would like a way to separate and keep track of those discipleship individuals and keep specific ministry information about them that he can't really do in his contacts list. And so just some of the pain points is time lost trying to track down that information, and also just being able to keep track of where he's going. And so, he opens up his iOS because he's an Apple user. His contacts app, he has to find who he's looking for, send a text message, and then maybe he wants to find out, well, what's their school schedule because he's a minor. This person was a minor and he can't find that. And so, just a lot of time wasted and really a specific target need for this. And then for the secondary persona is that, well, she's a leader in a youth group because she would like to access her youth group's contact information on her iPhone to coordinate field trips and events. Now, youth is a very specific case because they have parents, and so being able to tie in not just the youth contact information but the parent contact information, and so that's kind of her pain point, is that I have all my youth contact information, but how do I link that to the parent? And so that's being able to have custom fields in the app would help meet that need. And so she'll have all of that tied together, the parent information, because right now she's going through a simple spreadsheet. That's like her little database. And so she's go through this spreadsheet. And so if she's away from her desk, then I can't find the parent information because I don't want to add it to my contacts list because maybe these students are temporary. Maybe they don't stick. They're not going to be there for years, and I don't want to boggle down my contact app full of numbers that I'm going to have to delete later. So having a separate database or collection of that contact information would be better. And just a competitive app analysis, I got as close as I can. Daylight and VIP Orbit were really contact management apps, and so they both had the scheduling, they both had the contacts, they had the groups, they had integration with your iPhone contact app, the native iOS contact, the native calendar app, and all that. And so just some of the things that I noticed was, for example, VIP Orbit, it did not switch orientation. Like, it did nothing when I changed it to landscape, and that bothered me. So that's definitely something I will have to consider and stick into the app, is that what happens when I change orientation. Most of them did have the cancel and going back buttons, so you have the freedom to explore. Error prevention, one of them did not. The VIP Orbit, I deleted all kinds of things that it never asked me. So I'm assuming if you slide left or swipe left and it shows delete, that you just unswipe or click somewhere else. But if you click delete, it just deleted. It didn't ask you if you wanted to or not. Whereas the daylight one, it did. They were both consistent with exception of VIP Orbit. They labeled their groups as orbits. So I guess that's something that they're trying to brand really and get that in your head. But if they had just had groups, then it'd be easier and there wouldn't need to be any training. Recognition rather than recall. Most of them, they both opened to when I close it on, like, I'm viewing a certain specific contact and I close it, opened it, and it was fine. Flexibility, they both did the default thing. So if I was adding an event today, was today's date and the time right now when I was adding it. They both didn't show anything that didn't have to be there. I couldn't produce any errors to see whether I was doing anything wrong and seeing if it did do that. And then there was no help or documentation for either of these two. And I'm wondering if, how necessary that is. I would like it in there, and I would definitely do my best to put it in there, but I noticed these are two very big ones, and they're both paid apps. So because they are database driven, they have a website to them, and Daylight has a specific server that you have to install. So these are just some of the big time contact relationship management kind of apps, and so that's kind of what I'm leaning towards with this Go Disciple app. It really is a contact management app, and so seeing what they put out there, and then they charge for it, and they don't even have help, really just, it's kind of weird to me. So I'm definitely going to add that. And that's all I have really for my with this project for now. This part is empty because that's part of week 2. But other than that, that's all I have. Thank you very much.